सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। We are at IKEM.
Yes, I can.
तत्त्वं पदाभ्याम् अभिधीयमानयोः ब्रह्म आत्मनोः शोधितयोः पदाभ्याम अभिधीयमानयोः ब्रह्मात्मनो शोधितयोः करेक्ट ओके यत् इत्थं श्रुत्या तयोः तत्त्वमसि इति सम्यक् एकत्वम् एव प्रतिपाद्यते मुहुः ओके सो now, the Asipadam has already been told, right? The Asipadam is already been said that this Aikyam, like if you see the previous one, Aropitasti Kimartavatta Adhishtanam Bhatita tatha brahmena abhati. So, where is the existence of a reflected second? If there is only one and the other one is aropitaha, the reflected one, where is the place for equivalence or having the same second one? That means there is only one. So now how it is established as per the Shruti says Tattvam Padabhyam. Okay, this Tattvam Pada, Tattvam, this Pada, Abhidiyamanayoho, it is denoted Brahma Atmanoho. So Tat is Brahman and Tvam is Atma. So Tattvam, the word, is denoted by Brahma and Atmana. Shodhitayoho, when done an inquiry, when removed all the external, the different layers which have been put on them, if you remove that, eliminating all the conditions. Yet ittham, what that is told by the Shruti, tayoho tattvamasi. Tayoho again is dvachanam. These two, Atma and Brahman, that tat eva tvam asi. That tat and tvam are the same and not different. Samyak iti. Samyak ekatvam. Samyak, absolutely ekatvam. Identical, exactly the same, identified. Eva pratipadyate. It has been established. Muhuhu shrutya. Again and again, repeatedly by the Shruti. In the Shruti it has been told. Are you able to get this? The meaning at least. Okay. So now he gives a clarification how this aikyam is there, which we will have to see what it means. Okay. Says, yeah. So, various Shrutis, they give this same, what you call the formula or the same equation repeatedly again and again. They establish the same thing, what Tattvamasi. So, when Acharya puts this particular phrase that this Tat and Tvam, Padabhyam. So when you say Padabhyam, this Tat Pada and Tvam Pada, when you say, you will have two meanings coming out of it. Tat Pada has got two meanings. One is the Vachyartha and one is the Lakshyartha. The Vachyartha is the Vyavaharika meaning of it. Lakshyartha is the Paramarthika meaning of it. Same way, Tvam will also have Vachyartha and Lakshyartha, the Vyavaharika and the Paramarthika meaning. What is Tat? Tat is Brahman. What is Brahman's two meaning, Vyavaharika meaning and Paramarthika meaning? The Vyavaharika meaning of Brahman is Brahman with Prakriti. That is Saguna Brahma Ishvaraha. Okay. And what is the Paramarthika meaning of the same thing? You remove the conditions of the Prakriti which is Adhyaropita on Brahman, then that Brahman without any condition is Paramarthika. That is Tvam-pada Lakshyartha. That is the Lakshya what we have to see in Tattvamasi. Okay, that is what is the focus. But if you focus on the Vachyartha, you will have a problem. So Vyavaharika Brahman and Vyavaharika Atma. Vyavaharika Atma is Jiva. Vyavaharika Brahman is Ishvara. So Jiva Ishvaraha Asi when you say, then you have a problem. Ishvaraha Jiva Asi. You will have a big problem. Why? Where is Ishvara? He is omniscient. Where is this Jiva? I am an Alpicient. I don't know also anything. I am Alpa. He is Omni. He is Sarvagataha. He is Sarvantaryami. He is Sarvajnana. I am Alpajnana. Everywhere you replace Sarva with Alpa. That is a biography of Jiva. The moment you say Sarva, it becomes a biography of Brahman. So, when the person is going to look from Vyavahara, this comparison of Jiva and Ishvara, no one, any rational person will never agree to it. And hence, by doing Panchakosha Viveka, when you are able to discern and remove the koshas one by one, avastha-traya, remove the avasthas, and when you disrobe this Brahman from all this Vyavahara, or disrobe the Atma, the Jiva from all the Vyavaharika, you see that what remains after negating all this is Brahman without any Aropita condition and Atman without any Aropita condition. And that is the Paramarthika. Now, when it comes to Paramarthika, again we are using two words. And to remove this confusion, Shruti very clearly tells that Tayoho, although these are two words, but both of them mean the same one alone entity, which is Brahman or Atman. You call it by any name, doesn't matter. Both are one. Okay. So, Shrutis at different places, Pratipadyate Muhu Muhu, again and again have established that Tat and Tvam, these padas have got two different meanings, and when you take the Paramarthika meaning, then they are no more two. They are other than Advitiya, never two. They are always that one single Advitiya eva satyam tattvamasi. Are we able to get this? Okay. Now, some of these examples we will have to see. Okay. Now, by telling that, what have we done? By telling that, what have we done? Don't sit in that framework that I, the person using my intellect, have now separated this Atma in principle, and there is an Atma, and separated Brahman from rest everything. So there is a Brahman, there is an Atma, and these two are now together, which is one. Which means I am now separate. That is the biggest foolishness which we will do. Atma equal to me. That Atma, how did this Atma, how did you get? How did you come to that concept of Atma? Only when you did Bhagatyaga. Of Jiva Bhagatyaga, when you removed all the other koshas, then what is remaining is the Atma. So Atma is not different anything than me. You will use the instrument of your intellect, which is the object. Actually, that is the object. By the Atma and Brahman, which is the subject. Are you able to get that? Don't use the intellect as the subject and make Atma and Brahman as two objects and then say that A equal to B, so A and B are now equal. Are you getting me? These are getting very subjective, huh? If you miss out any one line, you will not be with that thought process. You will just go off. You will think, I am talking like Swami Nityananda of Kailasa. कुछ भी बोल रहा है, क्या बोल रहा है, समझ में नहीं आता है. But if you think it from that perspective, many of the things what he says is also right. It is only that you have to change the antenna and see it. But common person will look at it from Vyavaharika and say, what are you talking? But when you look at it from Paramarthika, there are many things which is actually talking from that perspective only. Whether it makes sense or don't go by the physical, biology, biochemical and all those nonsense, but when he says the logic, the deeper meaning, many of them still are very clearly is that common string which is there in between everything. So we have to remove that, that conditioning and listen to it. Then you will see there is another meaning to it also. Right, okay. Now, where did this muhu muhu shrutya pratipadyate, he has said. What is muhu muhu shrutya pratipadyate? Again and again, this Shruti has told it again and again. Okay. And you will see it in Aitareya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, so many places it has come. Okay. Now, Brahma va idamagra asi tad atmana, and the beauty is the Shruti very intelligently interchanges this particular word. And for us, when we are seeing the meaning, we never understand that Shruti has played this trick. Okay, you take Taittiriya Upanishad. Brahmavida apnoti param. What is the statement? Brahmavid apnoti param. The person who knows Brahman has achieved or attained the highest. Tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanamanantam brahma. What is this Brahman? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Satchidananda Brahma. Okay. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Soshnyute Sarvan Kamaan Saha. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Okay. Nihitam Guhayam. That which is there deep in Angushtamatra Purushongushtancha Samashrita Isha Sarvasya Jagatah Prabhu Prinati Vishwabhuk. So, Hridaya Guhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram. So, is it Parame Vyoman Soshnyute Sarvan Kamaan Saha. One who understands this has achieved all the desires. Brahmana vipaschiteti. He will remain in Brahman. Okay. All this paragraph till iti it comes. Brahmana vipaschite iti. The moment iti comes, it is a quotation. It is in inverted commas. So now the Shruti itself has given another quotation in the Upanishad. Brahma vidapnoti param till Brahmana vipaschiteti iti comes. So all these are in inverted commas. What is the topic going on? What is the topic going on? Brahman. Yes or no? The next sentence very boldly Shruti makes. That is the Upanishad's next sentence is Tasmadva etasmad atmana akasha sambhutah. Tasmat, hence, tasmat, because all this is told in inverted comma, hence, tasmat, why indeed, emphasis on tasmat, why Atmanaha Akasha Sambhutaha. From this Atma only Akasha comes. Where did this blessed Atma come now? When the topic was Brahman, you understand how intelligently Shruti played the game. Did not continue with Brahman at all. That means for Shruti what it is? Brahman equal to Atma. Another name for Brahman is Atma. Are you able to get this? So Brahman equal to Atma, straight that time itself it is told, and then all the koshas are told, and then what it tells? Again back to the same story that Brahman is Atma. So nothing new is told. Whatever the first statement was told is again established in the last one with logic. So when you write a paper or something, you first say that the summary, the conclusion is this. Then you have the detail of the paper. Then after that, will the conclusion be something different? It has to be the same conclusion which you started with. Right? Exactly this is the way it is doing. Yato vacho nivartante, the last paragraph in that particular Brahmananda Valli. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. On what is this speech of mine established? It has been established. It is coming from where? Yato vacho nivartante. The question asked. From where the speech is also of coming? Aprapya manasa saha. That where mind cannot reach. Amanasa. Okay. Where it cannot talk about it. Mauna Vyakhya, that is what is called. Vyakhyanam is Maunam. There is no words can be used, because the moment it comes in the realm of words, it is Vyavaharika. It is already conditioned and dressed. Anandam Brahmano Vidwan Na Bibheti Kutascha Neti. Brahmano Vidwan Anandam Na Bibheti. That person will never be fearful of anything. Why? Dvaitat eva bhayam bhavati, advaitam abhayam bhavati. When there is no second, where is the question of fear? The fear always comes when there is a second. Think about it. When there is no second, where is the fear? So the Upanishad very beautifully says, Anandam Brahmano Vidwan na bibheti kutaschaneti etagam havavana tapati. See, that same is there in the sun also. That Brahman. So Atma and Brahman are now equated. Kimahagam sadhuna karavam. Then he starts thinking, Kimaham papamakaravam. What is this papam, punyam and all? What am I doing? There is nothing called like that. Saya evam vidwanete atmanaggas prunute. That vidwan will always be established in Atma, Jnanam and Atmanishtha. No other thing. That tambura will be only Atma. That means Brahman. No two different. Ubhe hye vaisha ete. Ubhe, both. What? Brahman and Atma. Atmanaggas pranute ya evam Veda. This is what the Veda says. Ityupanishad. There is nothing else to be told now. So very nicely, very emphatically it starts. And once you understand this, Brahma Vida apnoti param, that is a start. Apnoti param. You have got moksha. Okay. So Shruti very clearly establishes it in all the various Upanishads. Very nicely it has established. Okay. This is one example. Chandogya Upanishad says Tattvamasi Shveta Keto, 16 times it will come. To Uddalaka tells Shveta Ketu, his son, who has learned the Vedas and come for about 15 years, and it was equivalent to not learning anything because he didn't understand anything what it means. So Tattvamasi Shveta Keto, he taught him. Okay, and that's a full big chapter on that. Mrittikeva Satyam. Once you know clay knowledge, then you will know pot knowledge. You don't have to study various pots. Once you know the clay knowledge, you know the pot. Once you know what is the iron, you know everything which is made up of iron. Like that, once you know the Atma, you know everything, because everything is a product of Atma. And what is that? Tattvamasi Shveta Keto, that are you, the Atma, and nothing else. So don't go outside to learn, it is inward to learn. Okay, so very nicely different Upanishads they establish with different context, in different ways, how without tarnishing that central theme, without, when I say tarnishing it, without, there is a particular way to learn this. Any other way which you use the Vyavahara, you will only misunderstand it. Okay, so that learning of it in that particular way, the Upanishads beautifully bring it. Right from Mundaka Upanishad, Mandukya, Aitareya, Brihadaranyaka, Chandogya, Samaveda Upanishad. So, one of the highest level it is taking and going. Brihadaranyaka is an exhaustive one. Okay, Brihadaranyaka, that Aitareya, which is a 12 small one, is Brihadaranyaka, exhaustive, it goes very big. Okay, so all the Shrutis, Pratipadyamanaha, again and again have established the same thing in different ways. Like Gaurav establishes sugar the same way in all the products. Yes or no? He establishes the sugar only. Gaurav is a sweet shop in Hiranandani. So he establishes the sweetness of sugar in all the products. Every person likes it in a different way. You may like jalebi, someone will like kheer, someone will like peda, but finally what is he establishing? Only one, sweetness of sugar. Like that, with all these varieties, Shruti establishes it perfectly in the right way in each of this. There is no distortion at all, you will see that. Because then only there will be a confusion coming to the student's mind. And in most of this, the question is asked by the student. And then the teacher for example, in Taittiriya itself, after the Anandamaya Kosha, it says, Asanne vasabhavati asad brahmeti veda chet asti brahmeti chet veda santame nantato viduriti tasyesha eva sharira atma yah purvasya. Now the question comes, athato nu prashnya. So the student is now asking the question based on what has been taught. Uta vidvanamun lokam pretya kaschana gacchati. So the meter has changed because the student is asking, it is not the knowledge, it is the question coming out. So they change the meter. Aho vidvanamun lokam pretya kaschit samashnyuta. How are you able to tell this? Like that the student is asking the teacher. Now the teacher answers. So kamayata bahusyam prajayeti. From one I wanted to become many. So that one wanted to multiply. So if that one multiplied, your Atman cannot be different from that Brahman. Na? Like that it starts again. And it ends completely back to this, what I just mentioned before. Yato vacho nivartante, it goes Rasagyevayal labdvanandi bhavati eva ayam rasaha anandi labdva bhavati. Okay, so when we learn Upanishad, we will start enjoying the way Upanishad tells. Upanishad has a very beautiful way to, like the mother feeds the child properly. Like that, simple ones, Mundaka Upanishad will tell you. It will be exhaustive, little by little, which you can digest and go. After 3 Upanishads, then your digestive system has become strong. Your teeth and everything have come. So slowly now, Aitareya Upanishad, then you have Mandukya. Just 12 Mandukya mantras are there. But you can never learn Mandukya by itself. You need Gaudapadacharya's Karika. 200 Karikas are there. Along with that only Mandukya can be learned. Otherwise you will never understand the meaning. So they are all, by the time that system is ready, this gets introduced. Little by little toughness will start coming, and really tough. Then Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka and all will be there. So toughest of the toughest, taught very subtle, simple, and also taught in a very, different levels of student will want it in different ways. So based on the student's question, the teacher will also answer. Okay, the same aspect is told by Pippalada Rishi. In which Upanishad? Come on. Somewhere, all you diploma students, let me listen. Pippalada Rishi has taught. Pranasyedam vashe sarvam. Somewhere you have heard. Tridive yat pratishtitam mateva putran rakshasva shrischa prajnancha videhina iti. Prashnopanishad, Pippalada Rishi teaches a student in Prashnopanishad. 6 questions are asked by 6 students to one teacher, and one by one he answers it and takes them to Brahman. Slowly, Annam, Pranam, it will go the same way only. So Pippalada Rishi has a different way of teaching it because the students have asked the question differently. Taittiriya Upanishad has been asked as a prashna. Bhrigur vai Varunihi. Varuni's son Bhrigu Maharshi has asked the question. Varunam Pitaramupasasara. He goes and sits near his father. Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmeti. With folded hands he is saying, Adhihi Bhagavan Brahmeti. You please explain to me what Brahman is. Tasma etat provacha. Father starts, Annam pranam chakshushrotram manovachamiti tagum hovacha. He starts the question. That is why you will see most of these teachers, when a question is asked, you will never get an answer. For every question, you will get another question back, which will make you think. Because the question has got that answer in it, embedded. You have to, so if you ask, I want, it is like this. If you ask, I want something, we'll give you a chocolate with 2 covers. You have to open the cover and then you will get the chocolate. The cover will not be removed and put in your mouth. So simpler questions are asked which will make you think, because that inquiry has to be done. Otherwise that has no meaning, right? So the Upanishad has this unique way of teaching. So every student, teacher, Sambhashana will go as a prashna. It will go as a question answer, it will be. And slowly the knowledge will be revealed out properly. Okay? And then doubts on it will also be cleared. Sometimes some of the doubts are cleared from one Upanishad in another Upanishad somewhere. You will be, this doubt was there in this Upanishad. See, in this it has got clear. That is why they say you have to learn all. The 10 Upanishad, Dashopanishad, when you learn, then only you will be able to understand the whole spectrum, how all you can think about it. Okay, and all these 10 Upanishads are used, more than that, 2 or 3 more Upanishads are used in Brahma Sutra as quotation. The question is coming from there. Hathato Brahma Jijnasa, it starts that way. First of all, why should I even think of this Brahman? From where did this question come? And then, with every question, from where did it come? What is the logical explanation? What is the Shruti Pramanam for it? What are the other Tarkikas talking about it? If I feel this is the answer, there could be someone else who can say that no, this is the way you have to think, where grammar will come, everything will come in place there. And then then there is going to be a difference of opinion. This is not this, but this is this. Then you start establishing it. And when you have reasonably established, and there they use a particular, rule called Prathama Mallanyaya. Prathama Mallanyaya means if you are already won in the past tournament, then you directly enter semi-finals. And if you win over this guy, then it's assumed that you have won over the people whom he has won over. Prathama Mallanyaya. So, at some places, Nyaya Shastra is Prathama Malla. Normally, Sankhya is the Prathama Malla. In some places, even Purva Mimamsa can be the Prathama Malla. Based on the question what it is, if logic fits, then logic becomes a Prathama Malla. There you have to take that person's view and then do Khandana. Because then the debate will be only with that. Baki ka sab log chillar party hai. Okay, so based on the topic, which one becomes the strongest? Prathama Malla. That is where questions will start coming. And then, if you have been reasonably able to establish this, what is the logical next question which will come out of this? That is the Sangati. Okay, so there is a statement, then that statement you have an explanation and a connection to the Shruti, then that explanation of it, what you believe is the right way as per the Shruti, and justification of it. Then what are the people, like a court, other people's objection to your view? Then you clarify them one by one. And in this clarification, it will go to secondary, tertiary, quaternary. It will keep going. यहाँ से यहाँ ऐसा सब घूम के वापस इधर आएगा वो. So you will lose the connection also in between. Because for explaining one thing, you will have to explain something else. And then that person will connect it to third thing. And then you debate on that third thing, then come backward and reach here. Okay. And then once you have established it, then logically what will be the next question related to this topic? If this is understood, then what is the next question to it? That Sangati will bring the next point. In there will be some sutras. Like that, various points in 4 chapters, Brahma Sutra of 555, roughly about 100 odd topics are going one by one sequence with a very clear Sangati. And you will be able to appreciate that only after completing 10 Upanishads. And Upanishad will start only after Bhagavad Gita. And we are at Viveka Chudamani. Are you able to get this? But be happy, I am not going to take shloka by shloka for Bhagavad Gita. It is there in the YouTube. We are already in the 10th chapter. Already there in the 10th. So by the time we should be another 1 or 2 years, we should be able to complete Bhagavad Gita. Then Upanishad will start. Okay. If you have not understood Bhagavad Gita in the right perspective, all the chapters, Upanishad will go for a toss. Everyone wants to learn Upanishad first. But Bhagavad Gita is the base. That has to be understood clearly. No doubt at all on that. Then move to Upanishad slowly. In that also, you have a sequence. Don't take the toughest one. You start with Purnamadav Purnamidam gone. Start with Mundaka. Mundaka is the simplest. Okay. Then Kenopanishad, Kathopanishad. Okay. Kathopanishad is very beautiful. Vajashravasa and Nachiketas. Very, very nice one. Then slowly go to the next one, which is, maybe you can take Taittiriya Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, they are all of the same levels. Then Mandukya Upanishad, Aitareya Upanishad, they are all tough ones. Okay. If you have still more patience and you want to learn, then all these Upanishads have got Vivaranam. So Vivaranam are simplified without changing the whole content of the Upanishad in simple shlokas. The whole meaning is there in a proper Sanskrit poetic format. Done by only one person. You do the full Vivarana. Then touch Brahma Sutra. Because then only you will connect to quotations. No, here also this is told, there also this is told. This Dahara Vidya, in that it is coming like this. Bhauma Vidya, it is coming like this. It all becomes very technical. Till now it is only story, general, without touching any quotations. You have not touched the text at all. You are just Bahar ka chakkar, Delhi mein there is an outer ring road. We are outside the outer ring road. Then you have to come to the inner ring road, then the ring road. Okay, ये सब पार करके एक कोश है. We are at the, for us till now we are in Annamaya Kosha only, related to learning. Okay, slowly the subtlety has to increase. Then technical terms will start increasing. Good amount of grammar will start coming. Because the debates will be in grammar part. If this word is used like this, grammatically this is the meaning. How can you consider this to be the meaning? That is where the challenge starts. Then for that some other quotation where like this form of grammar is used in some other context, where the meaning derived is like this. If it can be taken there, why it cannot be taken here? Or the other person would have wrongly broken the word. That is why grammatically the meaning would be different. So you say consider it to be broken this way. Then see the meaning. Oh, yes. Because one of the requirement of sutra is Vishwato Mukha. If you remember the definition of sutra, somewhere, sometime before I told. Sutra. Even I have forgotten. That many years back I would have told. Sutra, it has to have 6 qualities. One of them is Vishwato Mukha. From whichever aspect you see it, it should have the same meaning. Okay. So if you break it wrongly, the meaning changes, means it is not a proper sutra. Maybe next time I will tell you that shloka. If I don't remember it offhand. So there are 6 aspects in that. And after doing the sutra, if someone comes and reduces one alphabet and still does not distort the meaning of that, then all your effort is gone and that person gets the whole benefit. So you cannot further reduce it also. You cannot increase it also. It should be that precise. Like salt in a food. You can't increase it, you can't reduce it. It should be that praman only. देखो मत, कभी कभी ज़्यादा गिर जाता है कि नहीं? ठीक है. So, no, the point is, these topics in Viveka Chudamani which we are going to do are very terse topics. And these are topics of Mananam and Nididhyasanam which will start. Because Aikyam once gets established, then it's more of Mananam Nididhyasanam which are there in the balance 25. In the whole of Viveka Chudamani, there are 200 verses only in Mananam and Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam 200 verses are there. Out of 500 odd verses, 200 verses are Nididhyasanam only, which is, thank God, reduced to 25. Thanks to all these acharyas who have shrunk it. But that itself will be tough. Because we are now jumping, huh? So in between का gap क्या है वो भी मालूम नहीं है हमको. At least if you go logically shloka after shloka, there is a continuity of it. We are jumping with the same topic, which are the important shlokas. So in between ka it is assumed that you will know it. That's how it is going now. Are you able to get? So this 108 is not enough. The next is you have to go to the 555 Viveka Chudamani, then only you have understood it properly. That Viveka Chudamani is sum and substance of all this. All the Vedantas, all the Tattva Bodha is the short version of it. If Tattva Bodha was understood, this should not have been a problem, right? Which means what? Tattva Bodha was only Vakyartha, not Lakshartha. We all understood Vakyartha. Obviously, that is how it goes. That time we feel we have understood it. But when you go further, tougher ones, you say, Arey, this is an expansion of that. Expansion of that? Tabhi to sab samjha, abhi to sab, everything is going bouncer. Because it touches on a lot of other aspects to it. And if you don't know also, that idea is put in your mind, which will make you think. And once you start thinking, you will start connecting to it. Getting it? Right. So, this particular shloka, where he says, this is where the Asi Padam comes. Right? And now, the next shloka is, Aikyam Tayoho Lakshitayoho Na Vachyayoho. Same thing what we said. Nigadyate Anyonya Viruddha Dharminoho Khadyot Khadyota Bhanvoha Bhanvoho Bhanvoho Khadyota Bhanvoho. Okay. Iva Rajabhrutyayoho कृपा अंबुराशयोः परमाणु परमाणुमेव परमाणुमेव परमाणुमेर्वोः परमाणुमेर्वोः correct. So now he is explaining what it is. Already which we have explained, he is now explaining it. He says aikyam tayoho. So now this aikyam is identity, oneness. Okay, that uniqueness, tayoho, in between them. In between what? Atma and Brahman. Okay. Lakshitayoho is on the lakshana. It is on lakshyartha, not on vachyartha. Na vachyayoho. Are you able to get that? He says the aikyam is coming out of the lakshyartha and not the vachyartha. Clear? Okay. Na vachyayoho nigadyate. Nigadyate anyonya viruddha dharminoho. So when you look at the vachya, it clearly tells anyonya viruddha dharminaha. They both have got extremely opposite attributes. Okay, when you look at, for example, when you see Jiva and Ishvara, they have extremely opposite attributes. As we said, one is an omniscient, other is an alpicient, one is a sarvajna, there is an alpajna. Whichever way you want, you go. Viruddha dharminoho. And hence, if you go by vachyayoho, you will not reach anywhere. And says, whenever this viruddha dharminaha comes, and if you want to combine it, it has to be at the lakshyartha and not at the vachyartha. There that uniqueness will be there. Is it clear? And then he gives examples. Khadyota bhanvoho. Okay. Now all are dvivachanam. Okay. All these words, because that is the way Sanskrit writes. Ramaha cha Lakshmanaha Rama Lakshmano. Okay. Because there is a dvivachanam available in Sanskrit. They will join these two and put it in dvivachanam. It's called Dvandva Samasa. Okay. Ramaha cha Lakshmanaha cha Rama Lakshmano. So everything will end in dvivachanam of that last word. So here Khadyota Bhanvoho. Bhanu is the word. Bhanu means sun. Okay. Khadyota is that, firefly. You have heard of a firefly? So both are illumining substance. What is common now? Is there an aikyam in them? Is there an aikyam? Can a khadyo and bhanuvoho be one? No.
The light is there, that's similar to both of them, right?
So, no, in all terms, are they both identical? Vachyartha, yes, they are not identical. Lakshyartha, are you able to see it now? In Lakshyartha, remove that. The Atma of this particular Jantu and that Sat of Bhanu is identical. Correct? Next example. Raja Bhrityayoho. Raja and Bhritya. Bhritya is servant. Raja is king. Between the king and the servant. Raja Bhrityayoho. Are they identical or different? Vachyarthe different. Lakshyarthe identical. Okay, clear? Then Kupa Amburashayoho. Kupa is a well. Amburashi is an ocean. Kupa is a well. Amburashi is an ocean. Are they similar or different? Water is the oneness in them. Right? Fourth, Paramanu Mervoho. Paramanu is atom. Meru is, what is Meru? Mahaparvata, mountain. Are they similar or different? Mrittikeva Satyam. There are only two different forms of Mrittika. Atomized Mrittika, which you use, because of which we are using this computer, silica. From there only Silicon Valley is there. Everything is working. And the same thing is Meru Parvata. Correct? So, it is on our view. What are we seeing? The gold? Or we are seeing ornaments? We are seeing water or the waves? We are seeing the different pots or the mud. One is Vachyartha, other is Lakshyartha. One is Vyavaharika, other is Paramarthika. Paramarthika ekameva satyam. Vyavaharika, there is a lot of differences. So they seemingly look different, but absolutely are one. Viruddha dharminaha. Are we able to get the examples? How he is trying to very clearly say. So how to tune to look at. And then you will understand where the Aikamatya is there, where that oneness is there. Okay? Right. Tayor viruddhaha ayam upadhi kalpitaha. Now he is giving the clarity. Tayoho viruddhaha ayam upadhi kalpitaha vastavah na vastavah kaschit upadhi eshaha ishasya maya mahadadi karanam. Okay. Jivasya karyam shrunu panchakosham. Simple. Now he is giving a logical reason. What makes the oneness and what makes the difference? That one, how is it being looked seemingly different is the answer he is giving. Tayoho viruddha ayam upadhi kalpitaha. Both of them are of opposite in nature, different in nature. Ayam upadhi kalpitaha, which is being a superimposed, created upadhi by us. What is upadhi? Upadhi is? What is upadhi?
Modification.
Upadhi is modification or superimposed external container. That is upadhi. For Atma, Jiva is the upadhi. For Brahman, the whole Jagat is the upadhi. Who gave the Kalpita upadhi? Who gave this conditioning? We gave it. So, Tayoho Viruddha Upadhi Kalpitaha. Because of this superimposed so-called empirical reality, na vastavaha, but in absolutely they are not different. Right? They are not different. Kaschit upadhi esha ishasya maya mahadadi karanam. So he says, any upadhi This Ishvara Maya Mahadadi Karanam is the cause of Mahat. So, for this Ishvara, Maya is the Upadhi, and that is where it causes Mahat. What is Mahat now? Technical question. Mahadadi, when he has said Mahat and others, where did Mahat come now?
So it is a creation, sequence of creation.
So where did it come?
Isn't it there?
Trigunas.
Not triguna, three types of. It's also called Mahat करके आता है मालूम है तत्व it comes as something is called as Mahat.
Something is called as Mahat. See? Something is called as Mahat. Very confidently you are telling that. Somewhere I have heard it, something is called as Mahat. Sankhya structure has been used by the Vedanta to talk about creation or manifestation. So, Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti and Purusha is how Sankhya is told, but we say Purusha's ability is the Prakriti. And from Prakriti, Param Prakriti, what comes is Mahat. From Mahat, what comes is
Ahankara.
Ahankara. And where does the guna come? In Mahat or Ahankara?
Ahankara.
And this Ahankara with guna and Mahat all are called Maya. Maya Kalpita Desha Kala Kalana Vaichitra Chitri Kritam. Okay, so the Maya, which is that Param Prakriti, Mula Prakriti, which forms the Mahat, now covers the Purusha. Okay, like if you have to understand, I have given the something which is a little close. Don't go by the exact nature. You have to understand the bhava in this example and go by that. When I take one handful of any grain, normally the sprouts, seemingly they look dead. The moment you put in water and soak it, you see some activity happening in them, but that activity is not clear. But I know some activity is there. At that time, if you break it to see activity, nothing will come. But that activity, if you continue and allow it, slowly you will start seeing something coming out, which is the root and then the shoot. So the radical and the plumule will start coming out later on. That radical plumule coming out is with gunas, which are you able to see, but before that there is an activity happening in it. That life is there, bolke it shows that sentiency which is non-classified. It doesn't have limbs, it cannot be separated, it doesn't have any guna, nothing can be shown there. But still I know life is there. Among them, one will be there which is floating and nothing will happen. You know it is a dead one. You don't have to do anything to it. It will differentiate itself, saying that it is a dead one. Kuch bhi karo, usme kuch nahi aayega. It is a roasted sprout which has been put there. Okay, that is equivalent to Mahat. Undifferentiated from a creation perspective, that can be for a fraction of a millisecond also, we don't know. But there is a Mahat Sthiti. And that is what yoga uses, that you have to go beyond the gunas to Mahat. And in that Mahat state, the Purusha will get revealed. Because no gunas are there. Gunatitaha. How is Gunatita going to come? So Mahat is Gunatita, Mula Prakriti is Gunatita, Purusha is Gunatita. Are you able to get? And that Gunatitaha, Mula Prakriti and Mahat is Akshara Purusha. From Ahankara, Kshara Purusha starts. And then Purusha is Uttama Purusha. Are you able to get this? So he gives that the moment Maya Kalpita stuff comes, Ishasya Maya Mahadadi Karanam. So that superimposition of Prakriti on Ishvara becomes Maya. Okay? And Jivasya Karyam Shrunu Panchakosham. Same way, the Panchakosha coming out of this Prakriti, including the Anandamaya Kosha, which is highly refined Prakriti, it is a Sharira. Anandamaya Kosha is, don't consider it no material. It is also matter. But a very fine matter which we cannot perceive it also. It is that fine, finer than atoms, but is still a matter. Why? Shaririyate iti shariraha. Shiryate. It can come and go. And that becomes Jiva. So Atma covered by Panchakosha is Jiva. Brahman covered by Mahadadi is Maya. And that's where this particular Upadhi makes it different, whereas the content, the container is different, the content is only one. Electricity being the only electricity, when it passes through the fan, it is different. When it passes through the bulb, it is different. When it passes through the iron, it is different. When it passes through the computer, it is different. Are we able to get this? So, Upadhi Bheda, Vyavaharika Bheda, Natu Vastu Bheda, Paramarthikena. Are you able to get this? Okay? With that, we will stop. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Namaskar. Okay.
Namaskar, sir.
Yeah. धन्यवाद.